Hi everyone, welcome back to Photomode UNPLUGGED. We are your hosts, Ruben and Mick. So, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. Have you been doing anything special, gaming related?
Anything special? It's compared to other recent weeks, it's been quite quiet. But I have dived into the Burning Shores, Horizon Forbidden West. Why are you looking so sad?
I didn't get it.
Oh, I mean, you could just buy it. It is available.
It was a choice, like either Burning Shores or Jedi Survivor, and
All right.
Jedi Survivor won.
Yeah. Well, okay, so funny you say that, because I have been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm very close to completing it for the first time.
A few years after.
It doesn't matter. And that got interrupted by Burning Shores. You know.
Are you not going to finish the...
Yes, no, I definitely will. I will, I promise.
Okay.
But I thought I better try Burning Shores because we're wondering whether there would be any changes to the photo mode, or, you know, because it's PS5 only, if there would be anything new. There isn't anything new photo mode wise.
Shocker.
Lots of new content, obviously. Really nice looking area. But yeah,
there is new face paints.
Some new face paints, new costumes, new machines. Some cool new machines, actually.
I only saw the one that goes like into the water.
Yeah. So that's similar
Nothing
to
else.
the
Sunwing.
Sunwing. Yeah, it's like a king. You know, it's like is it a gannet or something that dives and fishes underwater? They do that. It's really cool, actually. Oh well. But yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. I thought I better, because Survivor's coming out. I thought I better actually finish the story, because it's a direct sequel, isn't it? It's a continuation.
It's a continuation. Survivor happened 5 years after Fallen Order, and there is a book that I'm actually reading right now that fills the gaps between the first and second game. But it's like a story that really doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah. Did the story matter all that much anyway?
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil, but yeah, I think
he's all right. I think it is quite generic in parts, but then they add enough importance and like I said in the post, that perspective.
Is anything not generic in Star Wars?
Oh yeah, well there is a bit of that, yeah. But the thing I dislike most is actually the level design. And it feels really, really old, like 2-gen old.
Yeah.
Like
and the map, it's
almost unnavigable, like just this hologrammatic mess, same as the thing on the Focus. But like just the actual, there's no sense of exploration. It's like, I know I can't go that way yet, so where is it making me go? And then trying to remember how the hell to get back to somewhere. It just feels very old.
A few weeks ago, I was streaming on, I think it was Zepho, the planet with the ice and like, I think it's like the third planet or something. And I was completely lost.
Yeah.
And the chat was screaming. The chat was screaming, just use the map. And I'm like, it doesn't
help.
It doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, because like there's layers and layers on top of each other, but you can't go from there to there. You've got to go all the way down the slide, back up. Whatever.
It's such a
yeah.
But I read your retrospect. On the photo mode. How are you, for those that didn't read?
Is there anybody? How dare you?
Well, I think it's probable that the viewers of this show are also readers of your website. But for those that didn't, do you want to summarize what you feel about that photo mode?
I actually quite like it. I think it's, especially for its age, 2019. It's got a lot of good features. I mean, the camera range is excellent. The fact that it's got a spotlight, all right, it's only one spotlight and you've got to move the camera. So I end up framing a shot and then go, I didn't put the light in. So I go up, place the light, come back and go, no, the light's not right.
So I was streaming Jedi Fallen Order and playing i5 Rush, and the button to hide the UI on Hi-Fi Rush is the button that turns off the spotlight.
Oh, right.
So what happened a lot of times was like I set up the spotlight. Oh, this is perfect. Move the camera away.
Yeah.
Press to hide the UI.
Yeah.
Turns it off. I have to go back. Yeah, it happens so many times.
So the problem I've currently got today is in Forbidden West, triangle is reset, but in Sifu, triangle is hide the UI. So it's like, right, there we go, done, hide the UI, poof, back to the start. You're like, horrendous.
I think we are going a bit off topic, but I think every photo mode needs are you sure you want to reset?
Yeah, and exit.
Every photo. Yeah. Like,
yeah. Anyway, you said off topic. We've not mentioned the topic apart from in the title and description and teaser and whatever else you've seen. Because by now you probably already know. But yeah, Old Things was relevant. So that's an old game because you wanted to talk about posting old things. Did you know?
Yeah. I got this idea actually because of Horizon.
All right.
So last weekend, PlayStation Portugal had a virtual photography contest, which was super surprising. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Because it wasn't on Twitter. It was only Instagram.
Okay.
And it was the best shot that you've taken on Forbidden West. You get a collector's edition of Forbidden West, and it ran from the weekend until the release of the Burning Shores. The winner is already picked. It's a portrait of Aloy. Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was like looking back at my Horizon photos and thinking, oh, this would be a good topic because there aren't many people posting old shots. And you actually, a few years ago, you were like a pioneer on the VP Archive Hour and how to do that. So I thought, oh, this is like the perfect topic to speak with him.
That was also 2019, believe it or not, that we've just mentioned for Jedi. That was 2019 when I did the Archive Hour. Well, it was for a couple of years, but it started in 2019. So the idea, like you said, with that was all about, because the problem, if you perceive it as a problem, is that because this is a digital art form, it's very well suited to social media. Everyone always kind of does things once and it goes away straight away, you know. Yeah. And there's maybe I don't want to say like that people are against it, but the people just assume you should always post something new all the time. And even the themes sort of encourage that, do you think? Yeah.
I think part of the reason is not so much old shots, but more like older games, is because you're trying to be trendy, trying to follow the trend. Like there is a DLC for Horizon Forbidden West. Let's replay and repost the main game. Jedi Fallen Order is being replayed again because Survivor is coming out. And once Survivor comes out, everything will be about that. So I think it's very much searching that like, that retweet, that everything that we follow on social, we want on social media. I do it a lot.
Of course.
I'm always like,
that's your game though. So
yeah,
you know, I agree that I understand the reason, obviously, to be on trend and everything. So that wasn't something I was trying to prevent at all. The archive error was just to sort of a reminder, not to add a new burden was one of the things that I wanted it to be. So it was like one of the weekly themes, but rather than saying go and get something new, it's go and show me something you've already got that fits whatever idea.
And what I find with the themes, and back when I took part in them, is that they encourage you to try new things in the games that you are playing, that the games that are trending. They very rarely make you go back and search your archives and post it. That's when you told me about the archive hour. That's what I liked about it. I don't need to now only take photos in black and white. I can just go through my archives and see which photos fit that theme. I remember one that the theme was boom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that took me so long to find. I went through my albums of Flickr, all of them, and searching that made me really appreciate the photos, because I was looking for a specific thing, rather than a good picture.
Exactly. That's like the key thing that I was trying to do with it, actually, because if I told you to go and take a new picture for that theme, you'd think, right, what game's got explosions in? You'd go make the explosion, take one shot, and then that was it. And you would not have sort of evaluated the other work that you've got. And that's exactly what it was all about. It was getting you to look backwards. How do you think it goes down on social media, for example, when people post older... Well, we'll split it into older shots, as in reposted shots, and shots, whether it's new or old, from older games. And there's two sides to that.
Okay. It depends on the year of the game. That's the first thing. If it's a really old game...
I feel like visual...
The graphics... visually it shows, and people might not be that into it. In terms of old shots, it depends on the quality of the old shot. That is very much the quality of the shot. A good example is that I often repost my Ghost of Tsushima shots. I don't have that much time available to replay Ghost of Tsushima and take new shots, but I'm very fond of what I did with that game.
Yeah.
So I want people to see it and to somehow make a connection between going to my page and thinking, oh, this guy takes photos of Ghost of Tsushima, but I don't want to do what I do with God of War or Spider-Man. So I, from time to time, if I don't have enough old new shots, I go and repost Ghost of Tsushima. And the funny thing is, they always, without fail, are my most liked and my most engaged shots. Like recently, I remember the glitch on Twitter that made vertical shots horizontal.
Oh, right, yeah.
You couldn't. So I posted one of Jin holding the sword right in front of him.
Yeah.
And because of the glitch, people couldn't see the sword handle.
All right, so it was just like a line.
And he was wearing the broken mask, so it looked like two shots that people would click and try to see the second shot, but it was actually one. That got crazy because everyone on the comments was telling me that, and that immediately became a trending post for me because of a glitch, because of an old shot, a shot that I took 2 years ago, and it made so much better than any of my new shots.
So that's a bit of a particular example there, but that makes me think of, because I think you should absolutely feel free to post old shots.
You have a really good article about it. An old article.
It is quite old, actually.
Yeah. It's really good.
Do you mean I called it recycling disposable art, is because
Yeah.
I considered this to be becoming disposable art because everyone's posted it once and it's gone. It's gone in an hour even, and it shouldn't. Art should stick around. It deserves to be seen more than once.
On Twitter, last year at least, a new post was a life of a new post was 24 minutes.
Ooh, that's not good, is it? Yeah, there's ways around it. I think
There is,
successive threads when people keep replying to it help because it bumps it up. But anyway, you should post things again because they deserve to be seen. And like what you were just saying then about it got a certain reaction at that time, that was because of the Twitter glitch, whatever. But whenever you do post it, you're going to be most likely, all right, some people may have seen it before, so what? You're going to be reaching a new audience a lot of the time. And even if you reach some of the same people, they might see something different in it and interpret it differently, just the same as you might interpret it differently when you go and look back at your pictures. You look back through and go, oh, wow, I never realised at the time, but I kind of got a set of things here, and they work together, and now you can post them as a set. It's
and even the ones that will remember that shot, it's social media. If they remember that shot, it was like it had an impact on them, and it's. I got this reaction a few times, like, "Oh, I remember when you first posted this shot." It blew my mind then, and it blew my mind now. And another thing is, okay, if you had to guess 2 games that I'm associated with, which ones would you say?
I would say Spider-Man and God of War.
Okay, a few years back, this was before Miles, I think, or right up. Oh no, it was after my first playthrough of Miles, and after like 3 months of not posting Miles Morales and Spider-Man, I got a few comments saying, "Oh, could you please take photos of Spider-Man since you never did?"
Right. So it just shows how quickly.
3 months.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The audience is kind of recycled all the time. And to be honest, even if the same people do see it again, like they're not going to be that bothered. Like you see the same things on TV all the time. Oh, such things being repeated. You're like, I'm going to complain today. And what's the worst thing that can happen is that they don't like the post or whatever. So what? So I definitely think I probably don't post enough myself, to be honest. You could easily feel more content.
I'm thinking about like reducing the time that because a lot of my free time is playing games to create content, and I have like thousands of shots on my Flickr, so I'm thinking about reducing my time playing and posting my old shots.
Yeah.
Like seeing if that works.
Of spending time going through. Now, would you post them kind of in chronological order, or would you start to curate them into sets and things?
Probably curated, like, because I am not of the opinion that you shouldn't post everything that you took a picture of. Like, most likely, if I capture it and I had the work of transferring it over to my PC, I'm going to post it.
Yeah.
Like, it's very unlikely that I've taken a shot and never posted it.
I'm the same,
but
actually.
The problem is
I don't have much wastage. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, you usually curate before like transfer or before even taking the shot. You're like, this could be better. I'm probably not going to capture. I'm not like that. Okay. Like, if I think like that, I'm going to capture it, because in like a month I might look back at it and like, oh, it was actually a good shot. The thing is, I post that shot, and that month will be when I'm going through my Flickr page. Mm-hmm. What I'm thinking of doing is like curating those Flickr shots and start posting them, and even not from the same game. There is something to be said about like posting like a set of green, how green looks in different video games, how cities look in different video games. that would be something that I would be interested in going through.
I think that's something that doesn't happen all that often. Actually, I'm doing it myself. You even, you stick to set from our game, and it isn't very often that you kind of combine related shots. And if you do, it's probably for another theme. Like, let's say you were doing a theme of yellow or something. You pick out, I've got a yellow shot from Tsushima. I've got one from Concrete Genie, and you put things together like that. But that's from a prompt. It's interesting if you go and do it yourself. And actually, that's something I would always encourage.
You told me the story of, I think it's Leo Sang that has the shoes in video games.
Yeah.
That idea stuck with me ever since you told me, like trying to do that, not shoes in video games, but like signs, like street signs in video games.
Just kind of an abstract concept.
Yeah. There is one thing that Neil Druckmann says, that you can see the quality of a game on how they do bathrooms. And like that would be like a cool series of virtual photography, like that, food, street signs. I'm like, this should be a thing.
I don't know why I don't do more of it myself, actually, because it's probably because I'm always distracted by the next thing, and I've got to write something about that one, and then there's another one comes along, and I've not got that leisure time to sit and enjoy the shots from any particular game, or to start to curate. But in terms of a sort of an artistic level, that's absolutely the sort of thing that this space needs. It needs more than just individual shots and individual posts that are unrelated. It needs this kind of portfolio of work. And you very rarely see someone's full collection, like a full style from a range of different games. A few people have got a website and stuff, but you never see it shared, is what I'm getting at. I'd like to see more of it,
I used to do like these collections, like when I did Spider-Man. This is a very easy one, but like first appearance of, like, the story of each suit. I would post and like write the story, put like details of the suit, like a shot of the web shooter, a shot of the logo, etc. And I did with God of War. Like you played RPGs before, and you played Final Fantasy. You know the bestiary?
Yeah.
I tried to do that with God of War. And I think it would be cool. I think, this is my personal opinion, people don't do that as much because it's very unlikely that a studio will interact with your set on social media if it has like
a mix.
Try to put a Sony and a Xbox picture, like, oh, this is how Hi-Fi Rush and Ratchet and Clank do Gears. It's unlikely that they will.
Yeah, that is an unfortunately true point, actually. I mean, you mentioned like those kind of ideas of sets within a game, and I've done similar. And I do them as
the masks.
Pardon?
The masks of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, Masks of Tsushima. I did the mechanical portraits, which was the Horizon machines, and it was like just a landscape-oriented portrait of each machine, and the blog post had the description and how they behave and stuff. I should go and do that again because there's so many machines in Forbidden West. But yeah, like when you start to, that's the difficulty of using just social media.
It is.
I do it for the website, and again, that's all about permanence of content. I want it to be not just visible for, what did he say, 23 minutes. I want it to be visible for years. So that having that different platform, Flickr's another good one because you can make albums. You don't even need to upload them again, can you? You can just put pictures into multiple albums. So you could have that kind of set.
Yeah.
You should do that. Everybody should do that.
Yeah, I have 7,000 photos uploaded to my Flickr.
Well,
7,000.
that means you're committed to Flickr Pro forever.
Yeah.
What's the limit now? 1,000 honors.
After 1,000, you have to.
You get Pro.
And there is a guy that has multiple accounts, like .pon1, .pon2, .pon3,
For 1,000
There
on
is a
each.
guy. There is a guy that has that 1,000 in each. Yeah,
one way
it's
around it.
so cool to see though, because you will get like the notification of .pon3 followed you, and I'm like, oh, this is her.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But yeah, I'm subscribed for life, and the thing about Flickr Pro is that they keep upping the prices every single year.
That's always that's the trouble with these subscription models. But it is a good archiving tool. That's literally what it was created for. It was created because of people needing to archive digital photographs. Digital cameras came out and everyone was like, wow, I could take so many pictures now. Where the hell do you put them? And that's why Flickr came about.
But you are replaying Fallen Order, and that game, Photomode, it was ahead of its time in certain aspects. You're not one to take that many like close-up portraits, but how do you feel about the graphics of like textures and
I do close-up shots.
face animation?
The facial animations are not good. That is something that it's a lot of games suffer. Even Tsushima, Jin's face is.
Yeah, but the good thing is that they added like the facial expressions.
But they're not that. His eyes don't change though. It lets the whole thing down. The eyes are crucial to a portrait. Absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to put your plane of focus on.
Yeah.
And the emotion is in the eyes. The expression really comes from that. And when the eyes are not with it, it's same as if they're aiming a bow and they're not looking along the line of that. I don't take the shot.
That happens so much on Horizon. So much.
A lot of games, even The Last of Us, But I will either not take the shot or I position the camera in such a way that you can't tell that the line of sight is off.
I was going through through my Forbidden West album, and I noticed that most of the shots that I have, the bow and arrow, had the arrow covering the eyes.
Okay.
So she's just looking.
Yeah. But that's the trouble with older games. You've not got that fidelity to do. I don't do classical portraits. If I do a lot of close-up face shots, but I do it as a cinematic thing, so it's usually as a wide frame, like 21:9 frame, and then an offset, as you would see in a movie frame. So I do a lot of that, and I think Fallen Order works okay for that. There's some times where obviously like his hair gets all fuzzy and weird and stuff. And
oh, you're playing on the PS5, right?
I am.
Okay, there is a glitch with his hair and photo mode on PS5.
Oh, it doesn't happen all the time though. Is it where it like doubles up?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, okay. I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was specific. Actually, I didn't even know it was a glitch. I just thought it was a bit of a flaw with like the bit of motion blur or something going on.
No, and it's only on the PS5 version.
How strange. Which is weird because that's essentially a newer version. But yeah.
And they re-released the game with DLCs and etc. for the PS5. There is and the glitch is there.
Yeah. Well. That's the trouble. Yeah. What was I going to say though? Then I was going to say what is the oldest game that you've gone back to?
Gone back. God of War 2018.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that different question then. Do you ever? Because replaying an old game that you've shot before, have you ever gone to an old game that you've never played before, and especially an old game with the photo mode to take some pictures on that you've not played before? Or would you ever? Looking at the shelf
I
for
would.
inspiration.
I would go back to Hellblade.
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
that's an older one that I want to do. Uncharted. Uh,
Really, I the photo mode's not good though, and
yeah, but I would play Uncharted on PC, so camera tools.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
But yeah,
and then let's say you've gone back to a game that you have shot before, and then you started sharing the content from it. Would you only share the new content, or would you share a mixture?
okay. Let's go with God of War 2018 because I've shot that game for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's going to on time of recording this Thursday. I don't know. It will be the 5th anniversary
Is
of
it?
God of War 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've shot that game a lot, and I do two different things while I'm taking photos of a game again. One, if there is a photo that I really really like, I try to recreate it with everything that I've learned now. Like there is one good example. I have one shot of Atreus and Kratos standing below a statue, and I wanted to go for that Lord of the Rings feel of like epicness of the world, and they are very small compared to everything around them. The problem is, you actually pointed this out. The scale was all wrong, and they seemed giants compared to the statues that were.
Yeah.
So you told me that I tried to recreate the shot, and it was so much better the second time around because I learned. If there is a shot that I try to recreate, but I can't improve, I will slip it through my new post. Like, okay, look at this, and this is actually from an older playthrough, but it's better.
Yeah, I'd use both. I mean, the good most immediate example is that post I've just done, the retrospect for Fallen Order.
Yeah,
that's made up of shots from the first time I played it on PS4 and new ones taken now.
Another thing is, technically, about posting old shots, you are better than you were a few years ago. In theory, you are always improving and learning new techniques, changing your tastes. Do you ever look back at your archives to make one of those retrospects and or other things and go what was I thinking when I captured like
I think everybody probably should feel that at some point. That's whole part of the learning process. You know, something that you thought you were doing good at the time. Beg your pardon. Turn the mic right down then. Something that you thought probably Horizon Zero Dawn's a good example for that for me. If I look back at my original Zero Dawn pictures,
so much
they're not great. You know, they're very you're fairly new into it. The mistake everybody makes when they start using a photo mode is they just capture something that still looks gamey. And you've not sort of settled into either a photographic or a cinematic style or anything like that that's your own expression of it. You're really going, wow, the game looks amazing right now. I want to take a picture of it. And I don't mean just simply a screenshot of what was on there at the time, but you're always capturing the full character. You're trying to get too much in the frame. And then when you look back at that, yes, that's what was exciting about the game at the time. But compositionally, as a photograph, it's really bad. So I definitely get that, certainly with my Zero Dawn shots.
There are ways to make it look like what is happening, like a battle with a machine, or I try to do that with boss fights, like capture the character and the boss fight in every game or most of the games. And there are ways to like compose that shot, that it doesn't look like just a simple, here's the character, here's one character, here's another, they are back to back. And those shots are the ones that I end up not posting. The ones that I look at, oh, it's just a game.
Yeah.
It's nothing in there that like is unique about
not enough style input, if you will. But I mean, so we mentioned the archive hour thing, which has now gone away, but the thing that I want to do with people next, because it's very nice to say you should post old pictures and stuff. I'm trying to get some people onto the blog to do, it's now called the Virtual Photography Archives, just to actually fill a blog post with some of their old shots. So I'm going to give out a few briefs, which are just sort of an idea to make you go look for a certain type of picture. And all right, admittedly, it gives me new content for the blog. Always a good thing. But the idea that I'm trying to do with it is to get people to actually look through and maybe find things they didn't realize, see how they've learned, how they've progressed. Look back at, because you will always have a shot in mind that you think that was a brilliant shot. You might not have looked at it in a while, but you think, I know I've got a really fantastic shot from whatever game. Go and look at it. Is it as good as you thought? I bet it's not.
I have a few that, like, I'm always changing my cover on Twitter. It's like a mosaic, and I like try to put there the games that I'm playing or recent shots, and I have like the whole of, I do it on in Canva.com, and your uploads are always there, and I'm like, that was, at one point I thought that shot was good enough to be on my header. But
that's the way of every single art form. If you don't look back and think, I'm better than that now, then you're not progressing. And everybody should naturally progress just simply by doing it and by seeing other ideas and trying different things. That's another reason why you shouldn't just always do exactly the same style, because you get too entrenched in just doing the same thing.
Yeah, the London's Game Fest inspired me to try and take more abstract shots. I haven't managed to capture one that I like, but I'm like learning and reading about abstract photography, which is cool.
That can be a hard thing, because when you see someone's finished product, you just go, yeah, that's cool. I really like that.
That makes sense.
But when you've like, right, let me make that, you're never happy with it.
The thing about abstract shots is also that if you're looking at it, you know what it is. So it's hard to, for me at least, to like imagine it as an abstract shot. It's
But still none of those posts have come up yet, because I've not had any responses back.
Oh, you didn't ask me.
I know I didn't ask you. Well, that would be frowned upon, I think, if you were straight up there. You can come on eventually. It's the same as why so Shinobi asked, he's like, yeah, I'd love to do it, and I said, you're very welcome to, but just because
you guys can't be,
he's been on the blog before, so I'm like, give some other people.
You don't have, you can't be the first, like we can't be the first because we were there before. I understand that. Can't say it doesn't hurt, but I understand that.
I think you'll be excited by at least one of them.
It's weird that they didn't reply back. It's weird.
Well, people have got, things
Lives.
on, and it's you've got to find a time, but it'll come about eventually. If not,
hopefully they are watching this episode and feel called out.
Exactly. If you have been sent my form and haven't filled it in yet, shame. Yeah, don't think that this opportunity is open forever, because I can put a timer on it and you're out. Anyway, so what's the worst thing about seeing? Do you ever see someone's older shots and like go, this again, or like think that looks bad now, like the game wise.
There is one game that every time that I see shots of it, I'm always like, again, really, it doesn't look good. GTA 5.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit of a separate case, because it's kind of its own weird online community, and that what's it called? Snap something.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't remember the name. And there are shots of GTA. I remember Petri Birdo doing a set fairly recently of GTA, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks amazing." The problem is, the most people, the style that they go is very GTA, very over the top with graffitis in it, and vinyls on the cars, and that's the thing that I don't appreciate. It's not necessarily bad, it's just not for my taste.
Yeah.
Do you have some? Like probably Aloy?
I don't hate Aloy. I mean, to be honest, you see so many Horizon pictures, you wouldn't necessarily know if it's a new one or an old one or whatever. Apart from the difference with the newer game, obviously. Is there anything old that I don't know? No, it doesn't. Grand Theft Auto is probably a similar case for me, because I went off Grand Theft Auto when they got into this too much, the gangster, not enough about the auto part. That's what it was all about originally, was actually cars. And I don't really associate very well with the characters and things now. So probably that is a feel that I don't really enjoy, but I actually don't think I see very much of it now. Cyberpunk's kind of taken over that. Yeah. That I was going to say that, because and the shots that you see, most of them are either portraits of modded characters on Cyberpunk, or the same style of shot, over the top shot that you used to see on GTA. Yeah. But I mean, I would never begrudge anybody wanting to do that, though. If that's, like, it's over the music, for example. There's tons of music that I don't like, new and old, but others do. So it doesn't mean that music shouldn't exist or anything. That's absolutely...
it's just not our taste.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know. I can't think of anything, to be honest. I like seeing old stuff, because I like seeing people... being attached to things and going and actually giving more time to something than just a fleeting moment.
I run into a problem sometimes that I don't know if it's common or not, but like, I'm replaying an older game. Let's say that I now pick up Uncharted and I start posting Uncharted Days Gone. This happened with Days Gone. I started posting Days Gone pictures like 2 years after the game came out, and someone was like, "Oh, this picture reminds me of something," and it's like inspired by their older work, and I'm like, how would I know? It was like years ago. Or the opposite, like you think you posted like something really, you created something really cool, and then someone posts a shot from 2 years ago, and you're like, oh, so I didn't come up. I wasn't the first to come up with that style. That style was like there from before, or because we are photographing the same thing. Like the black background Miles Morales shot with the electricity flying over him. You have seen so many people share that same shot.
It's inevitable, because the content has the appeal, and it's the same as tourist photographs. Everybody takes the same picture of the Taj Mahal. I wouldn't worry too much about that, to be honest. It is the way it goes. The other thing I think is interesting is if people post something of their own and they feel that it never got seen enough, then even as a short term, like, would you repost it or just retweet it? Because retweeting your own work doesn't seem that I do it, just to try and put it to an audience at a different time, but it doesn't seem that impactful. You don't really recover a post.
No, I would repost it. I do that with. Sometimes I use my weekly themes on Saturday as an excuse to post a shot that maybe wasn't like seen by enough, because those posts that I ask people to share their shots are my best posts, are the ones that get the most engagement, the most likes. So I try to squeeze in photos that I think didn't get enough attention or that I really like. Maybe they are like posted at the same week as I posted them before. Yeah, it's easier to do that than a retweet. A retweet will allow a new audience to see it, and you might get a couple dozen new likes maybe, but it won't bring the life back.
Yeah, it's not totally fresh, is it?
Yeah.
But if you feel that like a picture or a set or anything's been underappreciated, just post it, just get it out there again. It doesn't have to be straight away, just whenever. It's easy to be kind of demotivated by the content not getting attention and think it's no good. Probably just timing.
A good example, and I hope he's watching. Gary, you Spunny Bard. He posts some shots, some of his shots that he likes. He posts them a lot. Like, if you have a theme, you will post that shot. If you come up with the theme blue, you will post the shot of Atreus, like is a half portrait with Atreus eye in blue and the rest in black and white. I know that shot by heart. Like, there are some shots of his that they are like iconic to me, because I know that those shots, because I've seen them so many times and they are good. So, and that's good. Like, I'm a random person from another country that knows his work. If I see that shot online in any other platform, I know it was stolen.
Yeah. That's another good advantage to having your shots visible more often, actually. Yeah. So, like, people get to recognize it. And if it is stolen, then they'll give you a shout. Just think, at some point, we're going to be able to do, like, retro shots of, like, looking back. Look at these early 2015 virtual photographies.
Remember when we used to not have spotlights in every single game? This is how we captured it back then. Remember God of War 2018? Here's how the remake looks, and here's the original.
Oh, there'll be loads of that. Yeah.
Like, the rumor is that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remake.
I don't think that's necessary.
It's not. Like, how isn't there more The Last of Us versus The Last of Us Part 1? That's a great, like, theme, a great thing to post.
Yeah. There's two ways to do it. You go and recreate your old shots in Part 1, or simply go and take the same shot in both from scratch.
Yeah.
Anyway, go and do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And let us know in the comments below if you post old shots, if you are into posting old shots, and weekly theme suggestions, please. Yeah, things that you would like us to discuss. That's starting to be a bit of a thing.
We have to think of it on the spot. Like, we've not thought of a theme. What should we do? We can just do the same old themes again after. I forgot to mention. This is the episode 26, I think, isn't it? That means we've done 6 months. We're halfway there to the first anniversary. Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't realize that. That's cool. And without stopping.
Without stopping, yeah. You're not even at Christmas.
Not even when I went to San Francisco.
Yeah. There you go. Commitment.
That episode is a special one.
But
Go
it's
and
still in
watch
it.
that.
Right.
No jokes?
Oh, no. I don't have any.
Okay, see ya.